How many times do you hear people tell you to start your mix in mono? And if you nail it in mono, then when you start panning things, it will all sound so much clearer and the stereo image will be immense. Well, it can be very good practice to mix in mono and a great tool when it comes to learning about EQ. But the two main tools we have at our disposal to separate elements that need to be clearly audible in a mix, and that's not everything. Sometimes you might want some elements that you only really miss if you mute them. The two main tools are EQ and panning, and they should work together. So in our project here, we have a Rhodes electric piano and an electric guitar as our main instruments, and they get in the way of each other a bit. So if I'm working in mono and load an EQ on each of these, I can see that I probably need to EQ some 250 Hertz out of the Rhodes with a wideish Q. Now there's less information in the Rhodes getting in the way of the guitar, and we can hear both more clearly. But if I pan them hard left and hard right and then bypass the EQ cut I've just made on the Rhodes, we can hear that it's lost all the low mid-range warmth that the Rhodes is known for. So if I make my panning decisions first, then I don't need to EQ as much. So mixing in mono can be very good practice, especially when you're first learning about different frequencies and how different instruments interact in a mix. But if you're working on a stereo project and you're going to be panning things, and where you put them in the stereo image will affect how much EQ you may need to apply, you can find those frequencies in mono, but don't cut or boost anything until you've decided where you want things in the stereo image. That will dictate how much EQ you need to apply. Check your mixes in mono, but unless mono is the goal, mix in stereo.
Here's my take on mono. I don't care about mono. Here's what I care about. People that listen in the middle, people that listen in stereo. If you're sitting off to the side of the speakers, it's not my fault the mix doesn't sound right. This is not 1959 when we worried about mono. I don't care about mono.
Thanks a lot for tuning in. Don't forget to hit subscribe and ding the ding dong, create and don't hate in the comments, and you'll see us for part 4 tomorrow.